Okay, good evening, folks. We want to welcome you this afternoon. I'm Alfonso Z and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Thank you for sharing your afternoon with us, whatever you are, this morning or this evening in Liberia. We're having a little bit issue here with our guests, so we are just hoping that everything is okay, and no matter what the situation, if it is not even possible, that can stop us from having this program on. Trust me, we're going to have a conversation. A lot is unfolding. We want to welcome all of you here this evening. Thank you to doing multitasking here because I'm trying to get in touch, not really get in touch here to see if it is possible that she comes here. Well, folks, no matter the situation, we're going to have a conversation. Good evening, and just share this podcast as possibly you can, and we will have the conversation ongoing right here. I'm Alfonso Z and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Okay, we want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing this beautiful Sunday afternoon with us. We having not even little, we're having a real technical problem with our guest. That's the senatorial hopeful of MONSTERRADO candidate on the ANC, supposedly on the ANC ticket, Madam Victoria Torlo Koiquah. Here, this information being out, having issue, as you know, the internet service system in the country is just sort of challenging. So still trying to come on, but no matter where the situation is, we will, have the conversation here ongoing and share with you. If it is not possible, we can bring her here another time again as well, which of course not a big deal. This is all that we want to make sure that our country itself. So, folks, the building you see behind me here is still trying to get in here, but it's kind of a little bit difficult. Let's see here. Hopefully, it works out. And when it works out, I just need to capture her image, and then we're going to bring her in here. We're going to bring her in to have a conversation. Well, the building you see behind me here is the Capitol building. It's the first branch of government that well, 103 men and women in that building. That building should be considered the building of the House of Elders. But it's at the House of Elders today. I'm seeing her. Okay, let me see here. I think this Madam Koiquah is here. Hopefully it works. Let me just bring her in, and if we will get the audio here, let me just try and bring her in here and see. Oh Lord, the internet. Are you hearing me? Oh boy, are you hearing me? Well, it's so horrible here to me, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to do our audience justice. It's really breaking in. Yeah, and apparently, I know I'm coming through, but it looked like you on the other side not coming that well effective. To me, you. Yeah, somebody gave me a little bit heads up there from what I see. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, the audio is I coming through, but your output to me on this side and to our listeners, I don't think is really doing well. So I think best here probably we have to reschedule and figure out something, maybe to the studio thing or get the technical team there to get some because it's sort of frozen. I don't think our folks are going to get a good takeaway here. Folks, I'm quite sure okay, the video looking clear. I'm not sure why the audio is none. Are you there, Madam Koiquah? Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. All right. So I think it's not worth it. I will just get a conversation going here. Let me just position myself quickly and we'll get something going here. I'm Alfonso Z, and so stay tuned. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure, but it's really horrible. 21st century, and we're still struggling with internet system here. You see, there is like somebody spinning car tire or whatever. Good evening. Hello. Yeah. So I would suggest we can reschedule and maybe we can have our team or get it right maybe in studio, and then we can get it going. It's not your fault. There's nothing you can do about it. The LIB, welcome to Liberia. And so the internet, everything on life support, everything literally on life support. So let me just get it over here. It's not doing us any favor here. We will try to we'll try. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have a reschedule here, maybe get her in the studio or to get our team to go out there so we can do it. Notwithstanding, we're gonna have a talking point here so that we can go. All right. So news is all about current event things that are happening. See this building here, that's the building, that's the first branch of government, and that's where everybody wants to go, including myself, you, until declaration is made. So since we can have our guests, even though you're going to be part of our conversation here, we will still bring in here because it's very crucial, it's very much important. The last maybe 24 hours, we've been seeing a video uh, that surfaced. We don't know where it came from. We don't know the author, who is the creator, but that's concerning. It's very, very, very much concerning. Uh, when I first received it, I knew it wasn't anything that was. But let me just get to you the basis, how these things factor in. And I was very, very much surprised. Some really prominent people that I kind of know and say, yeah, these people, they are people that have a second thought in doing things. They were not like that. They were sharing. In fact, what you need to know, if you share any post coming from anybody, something that is not your own product, if you share it, they send it to you, you send it to me, you send it to X, you send it, it means you validate the authenticity of that information you're sharing. You simply agree with the sender, yeah, this information you sending to me is useful and I can use it. But there's something in both marketing and the media, people also deploy that. And let me just be a little bit illustrative here, since our guest is not here. We're going to set the basis, and then we're going to dive into that video. Hopefully, it's a play. And I'm concerned why people are not coming out here. Okay, and this is an education on our side of the Liberia Public Radio to be aware. Be aware. There is something called subliminal messages. I mean, it's terrible. There's something called subliminal messages. These are type of messages appears to be true, but they are not. Completely false. They are photocopy of different things that it shouldn't even be. But they are very powerful. They are used in advertisement. They are used in the media world today. And basically what it does, let's get a little simple definition here, if you will. Subliminal messages are visual or auditory. They stimulate, right? They stimulate. And when you receive it, when it comes to you, you say, oh yeah, this is true. This is right. This is the kind of messages that is saturating around here. And it's unbelievable that people see it and they quick to fall into it without having a second thought. Marketers, they use that. The marketing section, they use that. People in the media world, they use that as well. It's another sort of persuasive, it serves as a sort of attraction. When you see it, it appears to be good. The contents of the message look good, but it is not. But you got to be skillful. Maybe you have to get a technical know-how to identify, to know that this is not a subliminal message also. Part of that is advertisement. It's common. Kentucky Fried, Burger King, they take something and attach it to another thing as if it is the product of Burger King or Kentucky Fried. But that's not it. Those are subliminal messages. Politicians are very good of doing that. I am concerned ahead of this consequential election. And I'm going to be a little bit ridiculous at the liberal progressive. After a few times, this whole thing, people hear and say, oh, we're not stupid here. But it looks like plenty of people still stupid. And we need to tell them to stop being stupid. Because this is a very, and like I said, it's a warning. I've said this over and over and over. It's dangerous for the society. They appears to be positive. This looks like they are good. They look real, but they are not. Until you can be adequately informed or know exactly, be able to identify what these messages are, you will be able to determine which category it falls in as to whether this is a good message or not. How many of us have the capacity of knowing that? So, me, as a little guy in the media world, and this was something that I just did of lately. And I was completely frozen. The video, that fake video, There's specific software that you can use. I can grab your image, everything about yourself, put it in there, program it, set it at the right timing. But somebody with fish brain, as soon as they see it, they're going to turn why. But I'm concerned, who is doing this? Who did this? And why these big gurus, media outlet, people who always like to take responsibility and jump on issues, they are all quiet, they are all in coma, and nobody is saying anything. It's another high skill of propaganda, very, very effective, meant to persuade people, to treat your mind, to kind of like play with you, your intellect. But you got to be very smart to identify actually why it is. It influences people. It is used in marketing and media to influence people without being aware that you will not even know. Because there are things, there are components that will be embedded into that message. It can be in the audio, it can be visual, that is the image aspect. And you see it, you say, oh, yes. How many of your bought palm butter go in Liberia and you think that go? The guy come, he's selling that, he just come by you, oh my big brother, it's a go here. And they just give you a little glance of it, you pick it, you just one eyeball spot on it, you think say it's real. A quick because you want to do a quick transaction, you want to get a quick result, you're looking for the quick services, you pay for it and you're gone. And then you get home, you throw it on your neck, you went to get a shower. The first Kabako soap or whatever got on it, the next thing you start seeing the browse color of it. So subliminal messages, they are effective in advertisement and as well as in politics as well. It's a set of special skill. It's used. This guy called Neil Higgins. You know, this country is a breath of all sort of stuff. Years ago, he introduced this as another way of communicating to persuade, to treat people mind, to change stuff. Is it right? Is it wrong? Well, dependent, because the author or the person who is sending that, there is a specific goal, there's a specific message he or she is trying to channel. They don't care if you are hurt. Ultimately, what they care to cause harm, to damage you, so that the time you would take to do a damage control, they will be going ahead. And I think the blame game is out there. People, this person is responsible, that person is responsible. It's kind of like playing out here. Subliminal messages are not verifiable. They are not facts. There's no source. You can't quote anybody. And in the news industry, at least you must have three sources if you're saying something, and it must be proportional. You must have at least three sources. Source one, source two, source three. They must be authenticated. It must be verified. This stupid video that came, whoever did it, whether from the opposition side, whether from the government side, and the uniqueness of subliminal messages is meant to also dilute and neutralize some sort of controversial thing that is going on. It is meant to distract, to change the narrative, to change the gear. Say something going on right now, and it seems to be eye-catching, drawing the attention of everybody. And everybody jump on it. We in the media would like to jump on something, to beat on something. But those skillful and thankful people, they say, wait a minute, we got to do something to change the narrative. This thing is too much. Why are they talking on this thing here? Why are they doing on this thing here? They go into their strategy, their war room. They create something well organized. You see it look like it's real, but it's not real. The real content is, picture in the pictorial wall or the visual when you see, because image is another thing that resonates with people. It persuades people as well. So it can either be in the image, it can be in the audios, whatever form. They throw it out there and you just went into it. I mean, I saw people rationing aid. Reminds me when I was in Camp Waterloo in refugee camp in Sierra Leone, when the UNHCR truck or Red Cross truck come and everybody go in there under the tank there, starfish, sardine, rice, brown beans, and all of that. We're going to queue. That's how people were just sending it, and people were so much confident that yeah, this is so. That's what the media people refer to as subliminal messages. They are meant to be to bend influence. That's their basis. That's just the strategy of it. It is used to strengthen or heighten persuasiveness of advertisement or to the public to convey that it's a message. There's a message that they are trying to send to you, to convey an all different message entirely. They have their motives. They know there's an inner part they are trying to get out there, folks. And beware. You're who quite to get attracted to something. You gotta be a critical thinker, for God's sake. Even if you are for, you are against. That's why God gave us this, to be critical in our analysis, even if it appears to be good, to analyze, put it under the radar, put it under the microscope to see whether there are bacteria or something there that is harmful before you take a decision. Don't think it's in your favor and so you just jump to it. And I'm going to be crystal clear. We don't tell people what they want to hear on this network. We tell people what you need to know, because it is very, very much important. Subliminal messages can come from the opposition. Subliminal messages can come from the government. Subliminal messages can come from journalists. It comes from diverse group. It is meant to distract, to neutralize and change the narrative or the conversations of the day. Period. That's it. It is done skillfully. But when you look at the visual aspect, if you come from in the communication world like my chief, he would know exactly. Hey, somebody, the person sent it to me. I'm not going to call their name, but it's a high-profile person. Mr. So, you now see this? As a matter of fact, I was flying. To be honest, I can't just rush to anything. I sometimes see the captions and see why it looked like. The very first thing was wow. So what is the excitement in there? I am not cultivated by that. So, it's not something that's going to strike me so quickly. Maybe I got to go either in the middle, in the end, or from the beginning, something there. All day I was awake that morning, but it would just come in. WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, whatever, or it would just go in virus. And this guy called me. It waste. I said, what in waste? Oil? He said, no. Go see this something. Go see the video. I look at the verse. I look at it. I say, you old enough. You are grown. You should be an adult. You should know right from wrong. You should know when you should know something. It's not in as much we critique the government. We must also be mindful. What we are talking about here is a sovereign nation. It's about our country. These people will come today and they will be gone. But the country will remain intact. I'm going to play this video here. Hopefully it do a favor to play it, because the author apparently they get something called ARD, International something is meant. Technology has enhanced so much, and people out there criminally minded, very smart, very calculative. There's a way that they can't I mean, people, all of us, we are being duped. Sometimes people call you and say, hey, like the other day, one of my cousins, to show how people are so quick to be persuaded of something. You don't know the person from nowhere. The person call you, say, oh, I have a document, you want a visa, you need to process something. And the guy had a ghost, went to her house, sat and ate, and the people susu money, counted $360 that you're going to be processing her paper to travel to Europe. Probably, if I were there too, who knows? Everybody want to get a head out of there to meet up the green pasture. And then as soon as Duame left, You know, elaborate message say Bere can't go to Matadi. Plenty Bere then stay around. They already not Bere, but they are Bere. And that's why plenty of the Bere then was sharing this, they were rushing this fake news, this sort of subliminal messages, message that were flying around. But we need to know what the source. And I really wanted to talk to Madam Koiquah, who is the National Vice Chair, and all sides. Why all of these big guys that can jump on stuff? Why everybody just went in a sort of respectfulness and they're not saying anything about it? Who did this? And I wanted to get her view as well. Why Mr. Cummings? I respect him for him taking the podium. Usually it's good or bad. Usually there's some sort of rebuttals, and that's how it happens here. When the president speaks, you go sometimes the Democrat, the Republican come and speak and or to give their side of the story. To whether they're going to reconstruct the message, that's fine. But I'm waiting to see why. Do they accept it that the international community got to come out to denounce such stuff? But let's play this crazy, stupid video that was thrown out there, and it just carried everybody nuts, and people are just falling into it. I feel bad. Let's see. Hopefully it play because they've been doing a lot of craziness with it. But let's see here if we can play.
The community has uncovered a very dangerous plot by George Weah
in the next election by rigging it in order to remain in power, and he'll do it by any means necessary. With less than 600 soldiers in the entire National Army, Weah has raised a secret and very dangerous militia, filled with the worst criminals recruited from Boko Haram and Al-Qaeda. These mercenaries are fully armed and ready to destroy Weah's opposition. They've been well funded with the new missing money. Billions were printed and stolen over the last couple of years. This includes the 8 billions printed earlier this year in 2022 alone. This terrorist group is made up of foreigners from Jamaica, Burkina Faso, Middle East and Nigeria. Locally, they've also recruited and trained ATU rebels from former warlord Taylor through Monrovia's city mayor, Jefferson Koiquah. Unfortunately for the Grand Gideons, their county is being used as a training base without their citizens' knowledge. At the time of this report, there have been many sightings and ongoing pleas for help, but the government has refused to help. Investigators confirm the militia are currently using Doe's compound in Zwaydru for secret meetings and storing large weaponry without the family's knowledge. Sources claim Weah is trying to purchase Doe's property through a secret party. Furthermore, Weah is behind the large number of citizens from Nimba moving into Grand Guide to destabilise the county and plot their revenge. Ringleaders in this evil plot are Zu Penu and Kai Farley, who've been paid millions to betray their county and people. Both Penu and Farley have been at the very core of election rigging and numerous corruption scandals, such as the disappearance of Alfred Dunner, a magistrate from the elections department who refused to participate in rigging elections. They report directly to disgraced Nathaniel McGill, who's been linked to secret killings, now blacklisted by the US for corruption. Weah's plan is twofold. First, burn down Doe's compound to destroy any trace, then eliminate citizens of Grand Guide, thus allowing the Burkinabés to take over the county, and fulfilling Weah's agreed plan with Sirleaf. Similarly to the destruction the Burkinabés caused in Ivory Coast, next stop for this militia is Monrovia. Again, they're being fully funded and well taken care of with the new money, which never made it into circulation. This money was kept as Weah's personal stash to pay his illegal army and illicit activities, such as flying in prostitutes from India and supporting his reggae music career. Finally, sources have confirmed that Weah is building a protected facility on Broad Street to secure the money outside of the banking system. We will continue to bring you updates on Weah's secret plans. Our prayers are with the citizens of Liberia. God save Liberia.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Does it look like anything for anybody to believe? Even the 9-year-old, he praying for Liberia? Who are the sources? Who is the institution this gentleman angering for? Which media outlet, which cable news reporter is that? Why it was in display? Why there is no name? That's the work of subliminal messages. They play into the already existing narrative that is built and crowded in your head. Election will be rigged. What they tap into existing argument, conversation that is already playing out, because what they are doing, they are throwing a bit out there. It's like when you go to fishing, right? You throw it out there, you know where the grippers or the big ones can be. You throw it out there. It comes to it. There is a narrative out there. There is some perceptions. I don't have no evidence. Nathaniel McGee is this, is that. Jefferson Koji is involved in X, Y, Z. So they try to capture your imagination. They are capturing your attention, your body and soul. Because when that is revealed, you're not going to ask any question if you just do not know. That's the work of subliminal messages. They are fake news. No source, you can't identify ending source. They are fabricated. They are not authenticated. Nobody knows where they come from. They are cleverly and strategically put together, well structured, like a queen, put a queen in a bottle, and just throw it out there and get your hair to butt one another. And the reason they brought that visual aspect, they couldn't bring a black man to be the anger, or to be the newscaster, professor, to be the newscaster. To you will have an apprehension. But what they did, they decided to bring in a white guy. No name. The institution name is not existing, whichever group that, but they are just hearing sources. You saw the interview with Al Jazeera vis-a-vis with Nathaniel McGee. We all saw that. So which network this gentleman is he working for? Station without manager, station without station on wheel. I am pissed because politicians, advocates, greedy people out there, first and foremost, my county name is involved. We have reporters in Grand Juliet, in Zwedru. Where are they keeping those people? How long are they being there? Which other independent source has identified that people are there? But they were very selective. They know of countries that are involved. We know the history of Burkina Faso. I was in Ivory Coast. They are not a group of mercenaries. They are always hire people to get things done. That's contract. That's their job. So those people, those name or country was selected. How many person came from Jamaica? In as much as I disagree with this president of bad policy, that's not something going to fall in my shoe to say, yes, the president trained people or the president doing that. That's being stupid. Because they'll try to change the narrative. And like I said, it could come from the opposition, it could come from the government. There are a lot of hulubala were going out there, and somebody sat down and said, okay, and they people say they're not stupid, we'll tell them that it's stupid, or we'll tell them that nobody can go matari. I'm upset because we have critical, serious issues to talk about our country. The skyrocketing of children's school fees. People paying, you have 2-3 children in the same school, you have to buy those forms. Schools running on their own as if no school administrator, or maybe from the Ministry of Education, doing anything they can do. Nobody should ask them questions. Those are things we're supposed to be talking about. Health, infrastructure, the candidates, where are they? The oppositions, the advocates, where are they? Do you think that if you are doing that, you think that how you're going to get to state power? I expect a mature politician should have come us to condemn and denounce this foolishness, whoever created it, but it's sort of backlash. Yes, some people stupid, but everybody not stupid. The image, the picture even inserted there is not convincing. Subliminal messages, the real people, when they're doing it, they make it look real. They make it look real to be convincing. But look at this here. Let me just put this. I don't want to, let me see here. Look at the picture they put there for the president. That's when he was playing football. It doesn't reflect the reality of the conversation we are coming today. So one thing there, I trash it right away, I disqualify that. Important warning to all Liberians. What is that? Who are you, by the way? Which network do you work for? How can we validate these informations that you are telling us? The stockpile of iron and that they're going to be burning places. Which network? Why is it? Yeah, it's my name there, LPR TV Anchor Soul. You can go on Facebook, you can see it. And most of you here every day. But who is this dude? Which planet, which country is he from? And they didn't even put an attractive picture of today's reality of the president to capture people's attention. From what I see here, if my visual is correct, it's like one of his games, Jesse. So it disqualified the content, the purpose of what the strength and how persuasive subliminal messages can be. That disqualified already. But you don't know. You just hear weaning. You just hear people coming to do this because we have built a wall of Jericho in our mind, our body, and soul. And there are many reasons we have to believe all of that, considering all that is unfolding in the country. Yes, election will be rigged. Yes, this one going to be happening. Yes, X, Y, Z supposedly killed this person. Yes, this killing went on, an endless investigation. Those things all tie in, give enough reasons for people who did what they did, even though it is not a justification of their action, but to play into the narrative, the mind of you, not me, and not many others, but those who have some sort of preconceived mind of certain things happening, but they are unable to have or to do a follow-up. So what that does, it captures the imagination, the attentions of the people, and people fall into it. Who knows? It could be the strategy for the government itself. People are talking here, the president coming, we'll have a demonstration, we'll do this, we'll do that. I'm not saying that's what they did. But you know, sometimes when other people think that it's so smart, then other people, when you go to bed now, then the other people wake up in the night and they start chanting to see what they can do. Let's do this. And we'll get hair butts. The opposition is fragmented. They will accuse one another, this one do this one do that. Oh yes. Let's put it this way here. Boom. They throw it out there, that bait. And you see big doors, big dudes, they were grabbing it, running with it. If you go in our political sphere right now, the conversation varies. Other people say that this person do it. The other person will say that this one do it. But why all of these major political actors, the government has come out, even though the international community came, but I didn't know. Do you honestly believe and truly believe if there's any subversive activities ongoing in any part of the country, with the involvement that I've not seen in the politics in history of our country, how vocal Uncle Sam, the ambassador, the last person that was so vocal like this guy that is there, that Ambassador Swing, William Swing, when he was ambassador. Some of you were not even born, you didn't even know what was coming, or most of you, plenty people grew up in refugee camps, so they don't know. They don't know the history. And so that's why I would recommend, we try to make people to be aware here. I would try to recommend to read this book. It's on Amazon. $20 maximum. You order it, it gets to you. Some of you spend money on wedding, baby shower that don't last for 1 or 2 days. We buy expensive shoes, like money. You have the right to do what it is. But know about your country. Know the history about your country. I'm telling you, this book is loaded with information that you have not seen. Liberty hijack, the history of how the loss of liberty divides Liberia. Go on Amazon, is there. Go on Amazon, it is there. And perhaps when you get this book and read it, you will know your country and you will know the history of your countries. It will help you make some informed decision, not much politically driven because you don't want to see X, Y, Z. This one is just, the video here, just as the nuclear bomb when they throw it in Japan, Hiroshima or whatever, when they throw that stuff, everything went quiet. Yeah, all the little chihuahua, everybody going in share. They don't understand the work and power of subliminal messages. I can be deceived. I can be fooled by this nonsense. I want to focus on the real issue and hold the national government, oppositions, state actors, representatives, senators, journalists, including myself, to hold all responsible of our conversation ahead of the 2023 presidential and two major elections in the country. Not a nonsense to distract me. Why he decided to put my country inside? They look at the history. It's calculated. We saw the history when Cummins went to traveling in the southeast. Koiquah, all of them were there. The involvement of Koiquah. You look at the history of Koiquah, his past history, all of that. So they are planned. They are well calculated. They are put together in a special way that it will be convincing to appear to be a message to persuade you. But the inner belly part of that is actually not it. But to present this to you, that it is why it is. They're telling you it's good. They're telling you it's gold, that diamond. But they're only telling you, say, they give you about 18 carat or maybe 20, I don't know how much was the lake or higher. And they bring $50 because again, you're buying their body. He has nothing to lose because he's just either giving you just like a browse or nothing literally he's giving you, nothing he or she has to lose. But you are giving a $50 for something that not even worth $1. So who is on air? Who having the edge? That's the seller. That's another effective way to in marketing, in the media, the politicians take other people's brand and tie with A, because there are certain brand people are fast. It captures people's imagination. So in order for it to sell, they have to take certain part of that and just kind of like restructure a little bit. And they are telling you, say, okay, even though Burger King is the top here, but this other product that we have, this other food here, it also get a taste or even better taste than Burger King. Even though this is our name, but I can tell you we are competitive. We are the best. Even though that's sour lamb, sour, completely sour. But they will put it together nicely and present that to you. That was the package release days ago. We're all focusing, the president is coming. We're having these national conversations. Other people having issue. They're going to go match, which of course they have the reason. Instead of then focusing on the real core issue, things that are happening in Liberia. I don't know who did it. We are checking to get a system to determine just how they was sharing some stupid photo, things that happened. One of the one were in Nigeria, the other one were in Kenya, and they say they murder people. And I mean, that country we need delivery. It's because people just do not know, or ignorance, or people do it on purpose because they want to satisfy their political desire. It is a fancy that you want to do it. There are tons of reasons that you can do and put your case together. and make it a convincing one, a realistic one that it cannot even be argued. But this nonsense that it brought here, and this guy talking importing one into all Liberians, seriously? And you didn't bring the picture, the image. Image is another unique way to get people to come. It resonates. It makes people to, it appeals to people. You don't even bring today's war to make him look a little bit presidential. You didn't bring that image so that it was being seen. If you show me this one, I already know that this is, I can't waste my time on it. We're talking about it because we want to give this sort of education's awareness for people to know society and how time has involved in a lot of things can be done to manipulate, to persuade you, to present false things that are not real, to present to you as if they are real, they are authentic, but they are not. You are saying sources, sources, sources. Who are those sources? Why, instead of this importing one into all Liberian, why his name is not there? Instead of maybe all Liberian, why he couldn't tell us the network that he worked for so we can validate this information that he is talking about? Who is the reporter that visited my county and saw arm, stockpile, or whatever they are doing, and we can't even see in the arm? Just get a house. Whose house is that? How long these things been happening? You got to open your eye. Yeah, that's what I said. It can be either from opposition of the government. And that's what happens when people lose focus on the real issues at hand and begin to grab here and there, they don't synthesize the real issue in order to make a convincing argument. Sometimes the victim becomes the victor and the victor becomes the victim. It could be a good strategy from the government. And if I were working for the government, any other person with hair on their shoulder working for the government, they would deploy such a tactic. Guess what? Too much noise going on. We're getting ready to go to Washington. No reason for which the president should have even recorded the ambassador, all this kind of crap, this and that. They did it, probably was a mistake. Guess what? Let's create another scene. Let's create another drama that this time it will erase all of this nonsense and people will go to bed and focus on it. Then boom, they throw it out. That's the work of this. Subliminal messages. They are very powerful, very skillful, very dangerous for society. They have a positive connotation, but they are not. In reality, they are not. They profess to be, but they are not. They can always bring convincing point to you to understand. It influences people. It is used in marketing, in media, journalists, politicians, advocates, all involved in subliminal messages. But without the recipient, the ordinary people there, the recipient, because they have a target group. But the target group, they don't have time to go do research to look at all of these things here. They know exactly what things that you want to hear, things that already capture your attention. So they carefully put those things together and throw it out there because they know you're gonna get hold of it. You're gonna go with it. You're gonna run with it. Basically to persuade you, without you even knowing what the messenger is saying. The person who is bringing the message, the person who's throw that thing out. Their job is to get it done, to do it accurately. And they are trying to convince you. So they will put all of the recipes, everything that like you're baking your cornbread and everything. You need to put everything that you're supposed to put there, that when somebody enters your house, they know that the rest bread is in the oven from the smell. That's how they do it too. But it is a major, major distraction. The liberals said they put their full CDC, put their full in their mouth, which of course they are not doing. You come in, and then the man who owns the town, he decided to recall him. So who's going to receive you? Who's going to walk you through the corridors of meeting folks that you're supposed to meet? Yes, you had a new appointment, but that person credential, he got to go through nomination. And this credential, what of course, the queen died. Everybody there, Secretary of State, war leaders, and everybody going there. So who really going to have the time to who going to have the time to verify all of those information? You know, who get time for that? Who get time for that? I don't, and I don't think you have time for that. So they have done this to us, to hate us, and I think that we're supposed to focus about our country. We are not doing it. But all grown men, women, and everybody running with this here. They're running with it. Because George Weah, I'm not looking at George Weah name being involved. I'm looking about my country. I'm looking about my country. George Weah, 6 years, whatever they say, 6 years or 12 years, whatever it is, there's the voters, the electorate going to determine that. But I'm looking at the survival of my country, the image is going to reflect out there within the diplomatic enclave. That's what I'm looking at. And those on the other politics side, yes, that the government did it. The other point on the other side, no, that is opposition do it. The other point is no, that's also people. This sort of biggerings and bite-biting argument ongoing. It's not a help to our country. We have the real issues that are happening. The school fees going over the roof. People doing anything. You have Douala, you're going to Douala there. It's like a no man land. There's a different republic. I was there. You're driving car coming, when they ring, they don't run from. They don't run from motor car. And when you do anything, then they jump on your car, smash your car, or either beat the hell out of you. You have EW Junction, the place there is crowded, people not going to marketplaces, and everybody. I mean, it's just a complete lawlessness in the country. Complete, everybody involved. Nobody is willing to make an ultimate sacrifice to say, I can be the game changer. Everybody from government, opposition, advocates, everybody, no exception. All of us, even in the media. When it fits their situation, it's right before the law. If it doesn't, no. Is that how we're going to be a country? We're making comparison with Ghana, other places. When you enter in Ghana, you can just see market, beta boy, everything there. Those things must be enforced. Yes, we understand things are hard, but we got to get certain things done if we are to remain a civilized society. And we have failed on that part as well. We have. And it is time that all of us try to get this right. Not to be fooled by these people, allow these politicians to use us. I will be hosting the former president of the Grand Gillette Association. He wrote an article that politicians cannot use the county as a pawns. And the sad thing about it, I've not even heard, maybe it's out there, any of the lawmakers, any senior government official, time for them to talk, they can't talk. They're saying this kind of thing, try to demonize the county, putting the county against the rest of the Liberian, as if you are the bad guys or the bad people all over the places. We try to root them out. We want to have a civilized and decent society. And some crazy group of people just sat down there and they can say, oh, this is why it's happening. And you have them, they zip their mouth. I know the superintendent, he spoke, which is okay. What happened to the lawmakers? You represent the people. We elected you. These endless press conferences you can be having without any tangible, it is time to have this sort of conference. And when it happens, you go straight to the county. This is concerning. Mr. Superintendent, the Joint Security, we need to know where this is coming from, who are the sources and where this information is coming from. Even though there's nothing to provide it itself, but you have to do your due diligence as well to make sure that the public deserve to know and the rest of the Liberian people deserve to know, whether it's in my county or any other county, because they are saying to destabilize. We went down this route before and we saw what happens. Door coming for door, window went, ceiling tile went, the roof went, the hydro plant, it went, school buildings, churches, hospitals, everything went with door. So when we see something like this, and they say it's coming from this point A, point B, and as much this doesn't make sense to me, it is not me to make that argument. You in authority, you are the one to take the bull by the horn for the citizen and the country to know exactly what is right. I hear one of my lawmakers, senator, is here. We'll try to reach out for them to have this conversation. I'm waiting to see all of these major political actors, those are seeking state power, to also address themselves to this issue. It's not only the government alone. You do have a shared responsibility. And don't tell me, say, oh, you're not president. Yes, he's not president. He's on the path, or he or she, they're on the path to the presidency. So I need to get a sense now when these sort of things disrupt during the tenure, how they're going to address it. I don't want no justification that they're not there yet. They're there now. They want to be there. We don't know how your vote want to go. Anything can happen. I don't want anybody who is not prepared. I want somebody on day one. Hillary Clinton said the 3 o'clock phone calls and said XYZ is happening. Will you be there alert? Will you be in a stable situation to make an informed decision for the country? Those are the kind of people I want. I don't want people who they say when they are leader before they say no. I don't buy into that. When it is good, say it. When it is bad, say it. Then I see the authenticity in you that you're prepared to lead. And that when you are a leader, you're going to be a leader of all. But when you become selected to be only leader of your party or your supporters or your partisan, then that's not leader. That's not leadership. So all of those seeking the higher office of the land is time to be more or less twin mothers and twin fathers for the country. Stand up when the country needs you. Don't sit down. Don't go to bed. Don't lie. Don't play politics of it, even though that cannot be undone, that I know. But for God's sake, show your real side. See the fake video that went out and it's been celebrated. So why it does, it distracted, a big distraction. We need to start tracking down the government officials, the entourage that are here to at the summit. Let's start hearing from them. But some crazy group of people just put something together and just make everybody knocking other people's heads up. Crazy. No sense of direction. All because of the work of subliminal messages. And we here at Liberia Public Radio, we are here to tell you what you need to know what you ought to know and what you should be aware of these set of messages. If you don't something yet, just you don't even have to be a journalist. You don't have to be a marketing person. Get that word and just look it up, and then find images and all of that. The work of it, and you will know exactly why it is. So we are here to always to give you a good side. When it happens good, we say it. When it happens bad, we say it. The nomenclature, the name of our institutions reflects the 16th geopolitical sections of the country. So when we come here, we want to do it right. And we have to be honest to tell you. It doesn't suggest we know it all, but we want to create a plain level field. Too much ongoing. We need to keep focus and discuss this issue. We need to have a real national conversations about our country. That's what we do here. We don't create some sort of political satire or some sort of entertainment here. We get a lot of clubs, a lot of entertainment going on already. We don't need to add bridge over troubled water. So when I come here for my 1 hour, 2 hours, I could be doing something else. It must use sagaciously for the wise purpose to have a conversation with you, to learn from you. You learn from us. And we so much, for us here at LPR, we so much appreciate and value to every minute, second time you spend with us. Even if you disagree with our talking point, but by you just still hanging in there, the possibility of you getting a good soundbite or good something from us is there, and that's why you are there. And you have all right to criticize us. And that's what we want you to do, but we want you to do it in a very honest fashion. And if possible, make suggestions as to how we can enhance what we need to do. Share your expertise with us as well. By us doing it does not necessarily suggest we are the only person that can do it best, but perhaps we just don't have the time on hand. And that's why when people come here to listen, we want to be very careful. We respect them. We have our disagreement. They will call names. It is not even noted on this network here. Most of the time, the argument among their peers are people with different political beliefs. But don't hesitate to also hold our feet to the fire. Don't hesitate to call us out. And this is why we open this network, not just only for the political elite, but ordinary Liberians. You need to take charge of yourself. Do not allow any politicians to take charge of you. You were created in a divine intervention with the ability to make informed decisions. So why should you wait for somebody to make decision for you to say, oh, this is good? You should know what is good for you. Tell them what is good for you. Tell them you are capable more than them, that you can advocate for yourself. Tell them that you know what it means to have a good health facility, school, good roads, that our farmers can be able to be proud that when they make their cassava, plantains, and anything, they can bring it to town and get it to vendors. Tell them you know all of that. They don't have to tell you. Don't make them to be that you are like a toy. You just sit down on your couch and then you flipping, changing channel, NBC to CNN, CNN to Al Jazeera. No, you have the ability. Your veins, your blood is running through your hands. You have the ability to do that. That's why you need to tell these politicians. That way you need to tell these deceived politicians, advocate, and those so-called people that try to treat your mind, play with your intelligence. You have the ability. You are capable of taking charge of yourself. And that's what we want you to do. Do not allow those guys to do it. We're still going to find time to get our guests yet, but believe me, we're going to do what we can do with us. We don't even worry. Guests can, girls can come. There are issues, and we always like to talk about it, and we will continue to talk about it. So much appreciate you, all of you, your time spent on this network. I don't care which party you come from, which party you don't come from. What I do care, you are a patriotic Liberians. And I want people to value you. And we are here to also hear your side, to listen to you, to learn from you. So usually after our program, I go back to read the comments, whatever good or bad. And there are a couple of people who make some good suggestions or even express their views and opinions, and I reach out to them. That's how we need to do. That's how we need to do it. But because we are unwilling to learn from one another, I want you to listen to me, but I don't want to listen to you. How can we forge ahead? How can we make progress? It doesn't make sense. Even if I would disagree with you, I should allow you to express your views, your opinion, how you feel about your country. I can tell you it all. You know the pains that you go through, not me. But I'm just going to do it on a holistic, general overview. But your pain is different from mine and different from his. And this is why all of you that come on this network, I can be pissed. Let me throw the liberal under the boss here. I see him watching people writing comment this and that. You say liberal. I say you don't even look like a real liberal because your liberalism has been so selective. You don't want people to say certain things. Why are you so addicted with people? These people, they are our people. They have to express their views, their opinion. So what's your problem? And that's what we want to encourage you to do. We want our people to take a deep breath about your country. Take charge. 5, 6, 10, 12 years ago, who was the president of the Republic of Liberia? Are they still there? How many of them are alive? What I do know and what you know that you will concur with me is true and is fact, and we can see it. It's the country. The Republic of Liberia is still alive. Is Taylor still in Liberia? He's not there. He's in here. We don't know when he's going to come back. Where is Samuel Doe? He was president. Is he still living? Helen Johnson Sirleaf was there yesterday. Is she still the president? What is still existing that we feel the goodness, the beauty of God, divine favor on us is the Republic of Liberia. If all of us, for God's sake, if we can put on that cap and forget these people that you glorify as a political leader, and captured your minds and soul of the country. If the country is doing well, everybody in the country will be doing good. All these people here, all of them, they will be the same people, go up and down. I work in government. Government is a sort of society by itself. Who could ever imagine what we are experiencing now from the people who yesterday was fighting for a just cause, and that people were going to be behind the rusty bar? Where are those people today? How can the connotations of those words suddenly, quickly, fiercely change? What happens? What we need to know, they are not telling us. To the extent that I should still believe somebody coming from an unknown land on planet that they're going to do it. More or less, they are the same people being surrounded by the same old ideas. Is that what I should believe? Absolutely not. I would find it difficult. I will ask all of the upside down questions, and you need to provide an explicit and convincing answer. And when we begin to ask all of these people these questions that come to us, they ask you for money, you give it without you asking, because you believe in them, that your man first child. They're going to change everything out of the sudden. They're not telling you how it's going to be done, but they will change it because they told you. So you just give your Zelle, your Venmo, your cash out. You so much believe in them without asking all of questions. Do you think it's fair to the country? in as much you have your right to do what you're supposed to do, but one or two persons' decisions could affect the country. We saw that yesterday. We can make reference to evidence. They will be being arrested by. Will be there for you. You will not be a stranger in your own land. You will be sitting at the head table when decisions are made. You'll be accorded to the opportunity. Everybody will be served equally. Everybody will be treated equally. Are we being treated equal? Are we getting the justice deserved and other people missing actions, endless investigations with no results, nobody to follow through, nobody being held accountable of their action? So you want me to believe your God now he's going to be the game changer? And he's not even telling me either how he's going to change this game. And they are still in bed with some of those people who were still there to yesterday for their political gains. They are unable to make a stable decision because they do not want to lose a vote. They're not able to call people out. I listened to the sister network televisions, yesterday or so. Prince Johnson, he ripped off the ANC leader. That's the deceit of politicians. They come in the nighttime, they tell us things. Daytime, they tell us things. And under the darkness of clouds, they go do business with these people. You don't hear about Yoruba? If I don't believe in you, if I don't trust in you, I'm not going to support Dime. If you don't believe in me, what I'm doing here, why should you support this network? Because I'm not doing the right thing. So why may you think who the owner of this network, it will do the right thing? I'm just adding up more trouble. We got to think about our country. Coming soon on this network, before I sign off here, there will be a content news not collaboration, news content sharing. We're not collaborating. We are sharing content. The Liberian War Today, going to highlight social, economic, politics, development, good governance, culture about our country. We're going to be having that conversation. It will be aired live on Sky FM in Liberia. My voice and the voice of the analysts will hover through the nation's capital and its surroundings. Coming soon, we are finalizing it. It's going to be 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday and 4 p.m. local time in Liberia. The Liberian War Today is going to be a combination of the diversity of our country. Not just only politics. We're going to look at scholars. We're going to be talking to people like Kai Gerald, author, Liberty Hijack, and many other people. We're going to be talking to professionals, healthcare professionals, mental health expertise, mechanics, agriculture folks, educators, researchers. Those are the kind of people we're going to be talking about. And the people that will be beyond the bidding here, they get the money, and that's all they get. They can't tell all different English, can't be bridge. No. We are about to dip into the culture, the uniqueness of the country, and people who are there making it to work. I'm not saying we're not going to bring them. Of course, we're going to bring them because they are the major decision influencer into things that are happening today. So we've got to nail them. We've got to hold their feet to the fire. But what I'm saying, we're going to tap into the expertise of other Liberians that are doing good, that mean well, that are willing to help engineers, geologists, physicists, mathematicians, and all of these people who want to do. It's time to go out now to fish for these people and bring them under one roof. What can we do? Will you allow your country to perish because of Mr. Soul? Because you disagree with me? Or you believe for X and Y? No. Come and let us have a conversation. Well, folks, we'll arrange with Senatorial Torlo Koiquah, who is the ANC senatorial aspirant from MONSTERRADO County. A lot of information we are getting. Yeah. We are getting a lot of information. And I want to talk to decision makers until they can come here. Walt, today is Sunday. I want to thank you so much for sharing your time and moment with me. By God's willing, same time, same station, we'll be here. I'm going to be here by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm going to be having a conversation with one of the community leaders who happens to be the former TLA member, Tim Collins. Until then, have a pleasant afternoon. Bye-bye.